Welcome back to Geology Watch. Japan is a nation synonymous with resilience. Located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, its people have adapted to the constant threat of earthquakes, building some of the most advanced infrastructure and engineering marvels in the world. But lurking just off its southern coast, beneath the Pacific Ocean, is a geological threat so immense that it could overwhelm even Japan's formidable defenses: the Nankai Trough megathrust. This fault is not a question of if it will rupture, but when. And the Japanese government itself has issued stark, data-driven warnings about the catastrophic potential of this overdue event. Before we delve into the science behind this immense threat, if you find these topics important for understanding our world, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Geology Watch. Please like. The geological mechanism of the Nankai Trough is a textbook example of a subduction zone. Here, the Philippine Sea tectonic plate is sliding beneath the Eurasian plate at a rate of... The historical precedent for this is well documented and deeply alarming. The Nankai Trough has a clear history of rupturing in cycles every 100 to 200 years. The last truly catastrophic full-length rupture was the Hoei earthquake of 1707. This event, estimated to be a magnitude 8.6, caused intense shaking, triggered a massive tsunami that washed away tens of thousands of homes, and even caused Mount Fuji to erupt 49 days later. More recently, the events of 1944 and 1946 only ruptured the eastern and southern portions of the fault. While devastating in their own right, these partial ruptures failed to release the majority of the stress built up along the trough. This long period of relative seismic silence since 1707 is the primary cause for the current high level of concern among seismologists. This has led the Japanese government's headquarters for earthquake research promotion to issue an official and deeply sobering forecast. Based on historical cycles and current stress loading models, there is a 70 to 80% probability of a magnitude 8.0 to 9.0 earthquake occurring in the Nankai Trough within the next 30 years. This is not speculation. It is a formal, data-driven assessment from one of the world's leading scientific bodies. A full rupture would be a national catastrophe on an unprecedented scale. The earthquake itself would violently shake Japan's primary industrial and population corridor for 3 to 5 minutes. This long duration is critical as it places sustained stress on buildings and infrastructure. The subsequent tsunami, however, is the greatest threat. Official government models, which are not prone to exaggeration, predict waves could exceed 30 meters, 100 feet in some areas, particularly in the prefectures of Shizuoka and Kochi. These waves would travel at the speed of a jetliner, striking the coast in a matter of minutes. The estimated death toll, according to official projections, could be in the hundreds of thousands, with millions more displaced from their homes. The economic impact would be equally catastrophic and would extend far beyond Japan's borders. The affected region, from Tokyo down to Osaka and Nagoya, is the heart of Japan's advanced manufacturing industry. It is home to some of the world's busiest ports and the headquarters and primary factories for global brands like Toyota, Honda, and numerous electronics companies. A catastrophic earthquake would instantly cripple these facilities. Ports would be destroyed by the tsunami, and transportation links like the Shinkansen bullet train would be severed. This would halt production and sever global supply chains for automobiles, computer chips, industrial robots, and other critical components. The economic shockwave would be felt immediately in every major economy on Earth, with official damage estimates reaching into the trillions of US dollars. In addition to the primary threats, there is a major risk of secondary disasters. The intense shaking could trigger widespread landslides in Japan's mountainous terrain. A major concern is also the risk to critical infrastructure, particularly nuclear power plants. The Hamaoka nuclear power plant, for example, sits directly over the expected rupture zone, and although it has been shut down and fortified, a disaster on the scale of the 2011 Tohoku quake and tsunami remains a significant risk.
In response to this threat, Japan has developed the world's most sophisticated earthquake and tsunami early warning system. A dense network of thousands of seismometers and offshore sensors, including dart buoys, can detect an earthquake's P waves and issue an alert before the more destructive S waves arrive. This can provide the public with tens of seconds to over a minute of warning. For tsunamis, the system can issue an accurate forecast of wave height and arrival time within 3 minutes of the quake. The nation has also built billions in physical defenses, such as massive seawalls and vertical evacuation towers in coastal towns. Public education is constant, with nationwide drills held regularly. However, even Japanese officials privately concede that for a tsunami exceeding 30 meters, many of these defenses would be overwhelmed. In such a scenario, rapid evacuation is the only viable survival strategy. The long period of seismic silence is the most concerning factor. The 325 years since the last great rupture is not a sign of safety. According to geologists, it represents an unprecedented accumulation of energy, a debt that will eventually have to be paid. This geological inactivity is like a dormant volcano, seemingly calm, but building pressure for a future powerful eruption. The absence of tremors does not reduce the risk, it increases the potential for destruction. If this analysis of the Nankai Trough was informative, we would appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed to Geology Watch for more in-depth reports on the geological forces shaping our planet.